What's going on, Los FC? And welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about World Cup magic. From Pelé scoring a brace at 17 in the World Cup final to get Brazil their first ever World Cup in 1958, to Zinedine Zidane headbutting Matteo Materazzi in the 2006 World Cup final to get sent off and eventually lose the game, the World Cup is a beautiful rendezvous of the best countries in the world pulling on every emotion possible. A blending of culture that brings everyone from around the world together to watch their team play and hopefully become the world champions. I wanted to focus on a player who brought us moments of brilliance in the World Cup, put a nation on their back, and became untouchable in their own country. And that, of course, is, as you can see from the thumbnail, James Rodriguez. To tell this story properly, you need to understand the sentiment of the Colombian national team in 2014. Colombia is hosting Chile in el Estadio Metropolitano Roberto Meléndez. And in this game, if Colombia gets a point, they will qualify for the World Cup. And in being home, they were heavy favorites. Alexis Sanchez and Arturo Vidal gave Chile a 3-0 lead before the 30-minute mark. With Colombia's World Cup hopes on the line, in the minute 69, Teófilo Gutiérrez was able to get one back. With 20 minutes left in the match, a scrawny, unknown attacking midfielder was able to win 2 penalties in 9 minutes. Can you guess who that was? And to step up to those penalties, Colombia's red-hot striker, arguably the third best player in the world, Radamel Falcao, scores twice, sending Los Cafeteros to the first World Cup in 16 years and their first of the 21st century. However, heartbreakingly, on January 22nd, 2014, Colombian star Radamel Falcao tore his anterior cruciate ligament, his ACL. He did this in the French Cup against fourth-tier French team. And throughout his recovery, Colombia and Falcao's World Cup dreams was very much a will he won't he situation on if he could play or not. However, most fans knew he wasn't going to make it, or at least be the same player if he did. And being an 8-year-old looking forward to the World Cup, I was heartbroken. I had multiple Falcao jerseys, I still do. And on FIFA 14, the mobile app specifically, I remember there was a tab called Player Info where stats would update every game. I used this to check the stats of so many players, specifically my favorite team on the app, AS Monaco. And if you know anything about this AS Monaco team, there was another Colombian star who was scoring and assisting every week. Fast forward to June, and Colombia still looked very dangerous. And many have anticipated that this team would be a dark horse, but nobody could have guessed what this Colombia team and James Rodriguez had in store. Now, teleporting back to Brazil, a time of samba, a time of dance, and vampires. Yes, vampires. Don't ask. Because today is about Colombia star boy James Rodriguez. James was quite literally the most famous James in the world. More famous than LeBron. He had more Google searches than anybody else named James this year. You don't understand how much this man had an impact on me and chokehold on the rest of the Colombian people. Look at little me. Like, look at the pose, look at the jersey, look at everything. This Colombia team wasn't just a football team. They were dancing through the tournament and had a country living vicariously through them. Every goal, magic, pure electricity. And Colombia kicked things off against Greece, winning 3-0, where James gets his first goal of the campaign, and minute 90, passing it past the keeper on the left-hand side. Easy. Confidence levels through the roof. Next up, the Ivory Coast. And James rises up to the occasion, scoring a header off of a corner, which is insane because I've never seen him really win a header ever again. And he wasn't done here, because minutes later, he picks the ball off Seri Dai and sparks a counterattack and plays Juan Fernando Quintero in behind to score the winner. Colombia flying high. Then comes the third game of the group stage. With Colombia already through to the next round, James doesn't start because they want to rest him. But that doesn't stop him from having what is, in my opinion, the best match for him this tournament. He doesn't get just one assist. Doesn't just get 2 assists. He gets 2 assists and a goal. He sets up Jackson Martinez for a brace and then gets the ball in behind for what is one of the goals of the tournament, where he sprints, cuts right, ever so swiftly cuts left. The Japanese defender looks like he broke his ankle and chips it over the keeper for what is a madness, and soaks in the entire energy of the stadium with his iconic celebration, where he just puts his arms out, similar to what Bellingham does now. This wasn't just football. This was Colombia making a statement. This was Colombia making the world dance. This was James Rodriguez at his best. He wasn't just a player, he was a heartbeat of it all. Continuing with the rhythm of Vallenatos y Cumbia, they made it to the round of 16 where they faced Uruguay. Overshadowed by Luis Suarez taking a bite out of Chiellini, Uruguay seemed like a wounded animal, whereas Colombia was hungrier than a wolf. Leading the pack was no other than James, who controls the game, and in minute 30 gets a ball that was headed to him, goes by his chest, controls it, and smashes it far down for what was the best goal of the 2014 World Cup and maybe World Cup history. The ball thunderstruck down as James granted Colombia the lead. James wasn't finished there, because at the beginning of the second half, the ball was crossed over everybody in the box, headed by Cuadrado back into the box, where James was at the top of the 6-yard box and slot to pass Uruguay, demoralizing the Uruguayan hearts everywhere. James Rodriguez has scored his 5th goal of the tournament as a 22-year-old. But unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end. At the quarterfinals, Colombia faced host Brazil, where Colombia gets eliminated, but it doesn't stop James Rodriguez from scoring a penalty against Julio Cesar. James Rodriguez didn't just play the 2014 World Cup. He had 6 games, 6 goals, and 3 assists. He became a notorious figure in this World Cup. He announced himself to the world. After the World Cup, James became one of the hottest names in football, where he signed for Real Madrid for around 80 million euros, making him the 4th most expensive transfer of all time. Overnight, the kid from Cucuta was wearing the number 10 for Los Blancos and was amazing for the first season, where he got 17 goals and 18 assists, which unfortunately he wasn't able to find consistency in the Los Blancos. James was able to build a career out for himself, and in doing so, he also sent Colombia to the 2018 World Cup and the 2024 Copa America final, being the lead assister there, as well as the 2026 World Cup being the top assister in the qualifiers. James Rodriguez hopefully could spark up the 2026 World Cup with players who were able to look up to him in the 2014 World Cup. Hopefully Colombia is able to run this back. But if you like this video, please let me know down in the comments below and like and subscribe. Thank you, and peace out, boys.